They thought finding a disabled woman would be easy money. My mom, who depends on oxygen tanks just to breathe, got slapped with an outrageous HOA fine. And while they smirked at her struggle, I was quietly planning the kind of payback that would make them choke on their own greed. If you've ever wanted to see arrogance get crushed by karma, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this story of revenge is going to hit harder than they ever expected. My mom has lived in her home for years, quietly, peacefully, with oxygen tanks lined neatly by her porch, because carrying them inside was dangerous for her lungs. Then one day a letter arrived, a $500 fine from the HOA. Their excuse? The tanks were an eyesore. When my mom called them, her voice weak but steady, they mocked her, saying rules were rules. She cried that night, feeling humiliated in her own home. That was my breaking point. I started digging into the HOA's finances. Turns out their treasurer was sloppy, passwords left in emails, accounts barely secured. And with a little tech knowledge, I gained access. What I found was worse than I imagined. They were misusing funds, charging residents bogus fees, then padding their own pockets. My plan was simple. I rerouted those funds, siphoning them into accounts that exposed their fraud. At the same time, I sent every resident an anonymous packet with proof of what the board had been doing. The next HOA meeting was chaos. Residents stormed in waving my evidence, demanding answers. Bank statements, emails, screenshots. The board stammered, their faces pale as their empire of control crumbled in real time. And the best part? That $500 fine they tried to squeeze out of my mom, it ended up being the exact amount used to file the lawsuit that dissolved their entire HOA. Watching them fall was more than revenge. It was justice. They tried to profit from my mom's illness, and in the end, they lost everything. Sometimes karma doesn't wait. Sometimes you become karma. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more stories that prove greed always gets what it deserves.